Hello. This is the podcast where all psychic, with Lisa Russick.
And Misty Lore.
We are a very serious podcast.
Yes.
We do not laugh. We do not make faces.
Show no emotions.
We are Vulcan.
Yes.
I can't do it. I wish Zoom would do the hi. Yeah, Misty, do you still think we're all psychic?
Oh, yes.
There, hey, I almost got it. No, it's not. No. It's a live long and prosper. Hey, look, it did a little hand up and it moved me over there. That's weird. I wonder if it's going to be there in the recording. Do you still think we're all psychic?
I think so.
And I do too. I do too. Yeah. Huh. More than ever. And it's weird. You just don't know everything, though. And I know we have a whole podcast about that, but jeez.
What a season it's been.
Yes, it has been season 7. This is our season 7. I said that said it so many times. Season 7 wrap up. And we were going to go through our podcast from season 7. So there was a welcome to season 7. And I don't know what we talked about. We just welcomed you. We talked about maybe the number 7, probably. And it had 77 views, according to my Spotify for Podcasters app. And, I don't know if that's true because, I was looking at my statistics on Spotify for Podcasters. And I looked at my analytics and it said on September 8th, we had 300 plays. And then all week long, we'd had 20. So it was this big spike, but then where did they all go? Because it doesn't reflect in all the episodes.
That makes no sense.
I know, it makes no sense. And I guess I'm just going to have my hand up this whole time. Let's see if I can put it down, listeners and watchers. And yes, watchers, this hopefully will be a video podcast on Spotify. And I guess I'm just going to have my hand up the whole time. There we go. Ooh, live long and prosper. And then we had Blip 77, oddly enough, after 77 plays. I don't remember what that was about. I think it was we had some time in between the beginning of the season and we just wanted to let people know it was coming up then. And then of course we had Tarot Talk 8 with Donna. And listeners and watchers, Donna is our resident Tarot Talk
we love Donna.
Host for Tarot Talk. We love Donna. Yeah,
she's awesome.
She's the best. And of course we love Jennifer Love. She had some love advice for us.
Yes.
And then next one I see is Chaos and Cards. Patricia's interview too. Patricia, in that one, she had made a tarot deck and she was showing us slides and stuff of her deck. And I did get an email from her that she had published the deck. So, and she had got a good review and everything. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then Peace in Passing, Mary Beth's interview. And I think she talked a lot about animals passing away and people not being sad about their animal. I think that was what Mary Beth talked about.
I think that was an important episode because, people are really connected to their pets now more than ever.
Yes.
And when they pass away, it's heartbreaking.
It really is. And she did such a good job at explaining to people how their pets are still around and how they're not wanting us to be sad. They don't want us to be.
That made somebody feel good out there.
It sure did. It made me feel better. And then you haven't been there for any of the garage sessions with Savvy and Andrew, but I had a garage sessions with them. And in that one, I think we talked about about how Andrew, I don't know if you listened to this one or not, but Andrew, listeners and watchers, Andrew and Savvy are friends of ours, said if you don't know what the garage sessions are, I sometimes would go to their house and we'd just hit record on my phone and talk about psychic stuff. And Andrew in this one was talking about how he always controlled his dreams, Misty, like lucid dreams all his life, except for when he was very little and learned how to do it. And he's never had a dream other than lucid dreaming. Isn't that weird? Every single dream he controls.
That's crazy.
And then their kid.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, their son Ruger came in during that interview, and we asked him if he controls his dreams, and he said he does. And then afterward, that Savvy and Andrew were like, "Well, we don't know if he's just heard us talk about it or if he does or not." So I asked him, since their son some questions. It sounded like he did. It sounded like his answers were his. I don't know.
I think you can. I think at some point you can control part of your dreams. I think it takes work, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I have had dreams, but it's been a long time, and I always wake up when I realize most of the time. Not always, but most of the time I'm like, lucid dream, ooh. And I'll start flying and then I'll be like, I'm waking up. Because I'm so stupid.
Yeah. I know. It's like I can, isn't it funny how like some people don't remember their dreams at all and some people dream every night and can remember.
Yes, dreams are
luckily
very...
I can remember everything I dream just about if I want to.
I can't.
If I wake up in the morning and think about it, I'll be like, oh,
really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're so lucky. Yeah. I used to be like that when I was younger, but not anymore.
And then sometimes I'll go out through the day and something will trigger it. And then I'll be happens. Like, oh, I had a dream about that last night.
Yeah, that'll happen to me too.
Yeah. It's just funny the way it works.
Yeah, it is weird. It's like a loop in time or something. And we'll talk about that because there's another guest that had a conversation like that. But the next one on this list was these people. And I think in this one was just me. And I was talking about how I met people outside my old office who were looking to get an office. And I went inside, grabbed the guy a card and brought it back to his car before he could turn out of the parking lot. And he went into his work. I told him I was a tarot reader and I worked in one of the buildings, And he says, these people are so nice. I was like, these people. We have we kind of have a subculture now. These people.
Yeah.
and then of course we had Sumaya back, and she's always awesome. She's she's so pro. I mean, she can do any podcast just wonderfully. And then we have Miriam Attack of the Miriam. She did the Heyoka Empath with Miriam, and then Qigong with Miriam, where she's, I don't know if you were at any of those. Did you ever do a podcast with Miriam? Let's see.
I think so.
Qigong, I think you were there for that one. Yeah, you were with the Qigong one. And that was like the energy healing where it was like clearing out her allergies and some of the health issues. They were trying to work on that.
Yeah.
And Heyoka is a certain kind of empath that Miriam, it was just me and Miriam at that time. But she'd been on the podcast before.
I thought so.
Yeah, but not in this season. And then we have Rock the Energy out with Eric, my expert. And then we have Self-Taught with Rich. Now, that was a really cool podcast and has a lot of downloads according to this app. Rich,
that one?
I don't know if you were there. No, you were not there for that. Rich was a medium, and he was just amazing. He said he wanted to bring mediumship to people, and he does like kind of like the John Edwards thing where he's in a room with people. But he doesn't just go, I get the name M, I get the letter M or whatever. He'll just go to this person and be like, okay, so-and-so is saying to me to tell you blah, 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 and they're like, oh, but he says the reason he does it is because he wants people to realize they have a soul. That's the whole reason he does it. And I believe him. I mean, I believe that's why he does it. And he's a really good podcast. If you ever want to like check that one out, Misty, all these that you weren't at, that was a really good one. And then we have another Attack of the Miriam, healing tattoo with Miriam and Jamie, where they talked about how Miriam was trying tattoo, like sacred tattoo and stuff like that, to try to heal some of her health issues.
Cool. Yeah, I've never heard about that before.
Let me see. Were you there? No. Yeah, it was just you weren't there. You weren't there. It was just
because I've never heard of that. Yeah,
Miriam. Yeah. And then we have, I love it, Looking for Angels, Scott's interview. Scott, who did the book with Nicole from A Psychic Source.
Yes, he's always fun.
Yeah, and they sent us this great care package, listeners from Walker.
Yes,
we each got one, and they were just, oh.
And Nicole's book is amazing.
The book is really good. Yes, the book is very rad. And then we had Find Light in the Shadows, Sally's interview. And let me see, what did we talk about? I remember Sally, but I don't remember exactly what we talked about. She was a coach, shadow selves, looking at our shadow selves. And then we had Teach Our Children Well. And I talked about teaching children some of the, the consequences of doing things energetically that they should be careful about. And then we had Commit, Cats, and Coincidences, Nick's interview. And I wish you'd been there for that one because he was really great. And he's an animal communicator. And he told the story about communicating with a dolphin that was just so beautiful. I just loved the story. And it was a really good interview. And that one has a lot of downloads too. And of course, the Jennifer Love, another love series with Jennifer Love came up after that. And we were trying to start like a love dealer series where she and I would give love advice to people who wanted to write in. and nobody ever wrote in, so we didn't do it. And then I did Nature Soothes, just talking about being outside. I went out in Savvy's backyard and just talked about being outside. And I was in a really bad mood. And I went outside, and by the end of the podcast, I was in a much better mood. And I kind of wanted to show that transition in the podcast. And then we have, do you remember Julia? Julia, the drummer?
Mm-hmm.
She came back and it was Psychic Energies Popping with Julia, and Julia was that was a really good episode. We had a lot of fun in that one, and we just kind of went from subject to subject to subject. Julia and I usually do. You remember her? Yeah, she's really fun to talk to. And then we have Psychic Podcasters Talk Psychic Podcasting, and that was with the Common Mystics and Jen and Jill and Nicole from A Psychic Story. And we just talked about what it was like to be psychic podcasters and gave advice on how to do it if you wanted to. And then we had Garage Sessions 3, and this is where Savvy and Andrew talked about control. And I think in this one, if I remember correctly, they had some, like, this is when the cicadas were really loud or the crickets were really loud, and everything, like the audio was really bad in it, as well. I seem to remember. And one of them, the audio was just terrible, but I posted it anyway. But it was like some good stories. So they always have meat in their stories that are just like. And then we have Helping Up a Step, Cheryl's interview. And I really like Cheryl. She's awesome. I'd like to have her. I'd like to have everybody back pretty much. And but she was like really likes medium. She was into mediumship and animal communication, stuff like that. And she's and we were really good dialogue back and forth, you know. And then we had Sumaya. Oh, we had I missed a few, I think. Okay, so I have Ryan. Oh no, okay, here's where we are. Mediumship chat with Ryan. So Ryan came back and talked about where he was at. And listeners and watchers, Ryan's a regular guest that we just love, and he comes back, and he was our first guest we didn't know, so it was awesome. And then Sumaya came back with Choose Your Vibe. And then we had Silver Linings with Donna. And Donna and I just talked about like things that are negative about the psychic work and looking for the silver linings in them, you know. And then I did a Dear Diary and tell them where you have been. And then I did with Nichelle. I just hit her up on Instagram one day. I was like, what are you doing? Because she was posting stuff. And I saw I was like, what are you doing? You want to do a podcast? And Nichelle was like, okay, let's do it. And we did a podcast and we just chatty. You know, she, if you remember, she was like the astrologer and she does a lot of, I love all her Instagram stuff. And then Wheel of Fortune. I can't really remember what that was, me talking about something about the card of the Wheel of Fortune. I can't really remember what it was. And then we have Terry with Ask the Big Questions. And she was the one in that podcast. She was talking to us about like the history of how paganism kind of got the shaft, you know. And I really like that. I liked how she approached that one, you know. At that time, I think we were talking about being on Ethereal TV and doing that show with them, but we decided not to. And that was one of the ones we had recorded for them, I think. And then it never worked out. So, and then let's see what else we got. We got a Seeker with Scott, and that was Scott came back. And you and I had talked to him about energy working, you know, his growth story, like how he got to where he is now, you know, and everything like that. If you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I just can't find my backwood. And then we have Creatures with Miriam, and that was really fun. Miriam has some crazy creatures stories. If you haven't heard that one, that was a really good one. And then Valentino, his first interview, I called it "He Knows Stuff." And you have you met him on the other podcast, right? You met Valentino on our second podcast with him. Yeah. So this is Valentino's first podcast. And he just talks about his background and stuff like that. But it was really funny, listeners and watchers, because if you watch that one, he was kind of looking up at his monitor and kind of down here. I think we may have mentioned it in either that podcast or the next one. But like for a while, I thought he was blind because I couldn't tell where he was. His camera was down here and the screen was up here. And then I saw him do something. So I knew he wasn't. And he told me in the next podcast that we ended up doing, when we did it, you know, that he realized he looked like looking all over the place. So it was really funny. And then we have Life is Light, Pamela's interview. And I had fun with that one. She just talks about the Council of Light, and she just gave a lot of perspectives into that kind of ideology and those things like that. A lot of stuff I didn't know, so I thought that was really cool. And then introduction to medical intuitives. So I just talked about my experience with medical intuitives. And then You're Not Alone, Alejandra. That's our first podcast with Alejandra, and we hope
I really like her.
I love her. Yeah, she should be our third podcast host.
She's really awesome.
And she's from the South too, and she knows how it is for us. And it was called "You're Not Alone," and then Reading the Bones with Nathan. Now that was really fun. And
it was.
And I have started building an one of my roommates built me an osteomancy box, and I have put some stuff in it and actually got some bones and have been learning.
Yeah, me too.
You have too? Oh,
yeah. I've been I've got a really cool box. Here, I'll show it to you.
Okay.
I found it at a garage sale.
Awesome.
Those are the best finds.
That is, yeah. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect.
I love it.
Love it. Oh my God, it's perfect. I can't show you mine because it's very heavy and it's way over there.
It's like velvet on the inside or wooden.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love it.
But I need to start collecting my bones, and I guess they'll come to me whenever.
I asked. I said, "Can I have will you bring me bones and stuff that I might use?"
Okay.
Or, I might use, and I got a moth and a butterfly and fish collarbone and fish bones and all kinds of things. A whisker, whisker, cat whisker, and a lot of things kind of popped up. I put a lot of.
You know what? I didn't think about that. I will do that. I will ask.
Yes,
that's just the dumbest thing. Ask, you shall receive, right?
Absolutely.
I should know that by now.
Absolutely, me too. And then we had the Angel Scroll, Penelope's interview, and that was her book, The Angel Scroll. And we took in here. I say we talk about all things psychic with a touch of physics. All right. And then Barbara came back for another chat with Al, and we called it "Stalk Yourself" because that's what she says during the podcast. Don't stalk him, stalk yourself.
That's right. I love that.
It was funny. And then we have the beloved Misty's cacao ceremony. And you tell us about your trip to Mexico where you got she did the cacao ceremony. You got to listen to that one. It's really good.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get her on the podcast too. We'll see.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to get her on.
She comes on. Everybody send vibes too.
Yes. Good vibes.
We would love to hear from you.
Yes. We got a lot of good information.
So I guess we're getting near the end here because I have Lionsgate 8/8 with Valentino, which wasn't too long ago. Lionsgate was 8/8. So August 8th. And then we have I Was King Tut, and Gandalf's over here just talking about it, guys. And then we have I Was King Tut with Alejandra.
Love it. I love that.
An awesome podcast.
I mean, who would have thought some things we can't make up.
You can't make it up. You can't make that shit up. Yeah.
I love it.
And then I have Chattering Psychics, Claire's interview. I think you were sick that night. And then I just did one by myself that was music resonance and psychic stuff where I talked about those topics. And then Jennifer Love came back for Emotionally Unavailable People. And I think that was last week. Was that week?
Yeah,
September 4th. And then we had You'll Surprise Yourself with Cherie. And I just published that yesterday, I think, if today is the 8th.
Yes, it is the 8th.
Okay, so yeah, I think I just published Cherie's, and that one was pretty cool. She was awesome. I mean, she was just doing pretty. Do you remember that one? Last night?
Yeah.
Or 2 nights ago or whatever.
Yeah.
I meant to do it the next morning, but I slept in, and so I had to wait till.
It happens.
It does happen. It does happen. Missy, do you have anything you want to tell the listeners and watchers about your feelings about season 7 or anything like that?
Yeah, it was a good season. I'm really excited about the next season and what we're going to do. I have a good feeling about this next season.
Season 8.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about it. I'm always excited to learn from our guests that we have and see what the season will bring. What about you?
I'm right there with you. I just want to see what'll happen. And it's been an interesting time, the whole podcast. Our lives have changed so much. It has been an adventure. And this season was an extremely adventurous one for me anyway. And I learned a lot. Like you said, learning from the guests is just the best.
Oh, it's awesome. That's the best knowledge you can get right there.
Yeah, right. First hand, or second hand. First hand, second. I don't know what that is. From the person who had the experience. Yes. Thank you, all you guests, all of you who will be on our show. Thank you so much. We love you.
Yes, we
always say we love the listeners and watchers, but we love the guests just as much as
the listeners.
And we do. And so I guess at this point, I will thank Everclear, our sponsor. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve.
You deserve.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
And I am an advisor on Everclear under the name Lisa P, Leesa, letter P. And lastly, I guess, Misty, I have had my hand up. That's why I did all the talking this whole podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And I'll see you in the next season.
I'll be there.
Couldn't do it without you. Bye.
Love you.
Peace out, listeners. Woo! See you in season 8.